Toll-free line, 877-337-6666, brought to you by Mohegan Sun. Full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. And we go to, first up, it is Ralph from Manhattan. What's going on, Ralph?
Well, I'll tell you, Lauri, it does take a tremendous amount of out-of-the-box thinking to find any redeeming qualities in a guy like Ray Rice, who socked his girlfriend. I saw it. You know, we flat out saw it. He can't deny it. And I respect you for feeling the way you feel, because I know in my life, when someone treats me well, I won't say a bad thing about them, no matter what I hear about them. In other words, hearsay doesn't tell the tale for me. I go by my experience with said person, and I'm glad you do too. You know, a long time ago,
my thing with the Ray Rice story is, I don't deny it was an awful, despicable act. He punched his then girlfriend and fiance, and yes, we all saw it. And the thing that bothered me most, I guess, at the time, Ralph, also was that prior to the videotape, I was appalled by what had happened. The first videotape, when we saw him dragging her out of the elevator, and we had heard that, he had hit her, I was already appalled at that point, because to me, I didn't need to see the video. I mean, what did people think happened in the elevator? And then all of a sudden, when everybody saw the actual videotape, all of a sudden everybody got outraged, and now he was persona non grata, and he's the worst person in the world, and he's never, worked a day in the NFL since, mostly because people thought he was washed up. But he's now the poster child, face of, and his name gets referenced anytime there's any sort of violent behavior or anything by an athlete against women. And my point just with it all is, look, was it a disgusting act and despicable and all of that? Absolutely. But I think that in the era in which we live, Ralph, people lose the whole person, and they say this one act will now define someone for the rest of time, as opposed to every other day they walked on this planet and may have done, on balance, lots of great things. And I guess that's my point with Peyton Manning is, look, if what's in that daily news story is true of Peyton Manning, then he had more than one bad day. And to me, it seemed like he's allegedly sort of ruined the woman's career.
Lauri, I guess dragging the woman out by her hair, her shoulders wasn't enough. We had to see it, and you just said a mouthful. You said everything I wanted to say about that. So I'll throw this at you. To me, a locker room is I've seen people. I've been in locker rooms forever, and I've seen people act completely out of character. No, they would never do the things they do in a locker room in any other place, any other venue, on the street, wherever it may be. They feel it's okay in the locker room. Pathetic losers, I call them, walking around acting like jackasses, if I could say the word jack on the radio. And the shenanigans that I've seen go on. Now, here's the deal: we like Peyton. He's all-American. He's the white picket fence. He's everything that we think America should be, and we completely castigate the other cat from Carolina, Cam Newton. Now, is it about color? Is it about race? I'm not so sure, but I know one thing for sure: if Peyton did that in his youth, it's reprehensible, it's repulsive, and if he made life miserable for that woman for years to come, he deserves everything that's coming to him. Because if he indeed took her to task, or bought her off, or ruined her job, I have no any good feeling for Peyton Manning anymore if I find that to be true.
Yeah, and that's where I guess with me, Ralph, again, it's going to be hard for me, but I try and look at it and look at all the balance and look at both sides. And I try to say to myself, this is still the same Peyton Manning who has, dedicated tons of money and time to children's hospitals and charities and children's hospitals that are named after him in Indianapolis, and all the things that he's done in a very positive way. This is still the same Peyton Manning who takes the time to write handwritten notes to people who retire. This is still, there's a lot about him to be admired and respected and liked. And he's still that. And at the same time as he's that, if these incidents are true, then it's more complicated, and he's not just the perfect Boy Scout that a lot of people want him to be. And is there some race to it? Yes, on some level, maybe there is. But again, I also look at that and say it's more complicated. Look at Jameis Winston and that case being settled. And you know what? If Jameis Winston has a great NFL career, he just won Rookie of the Year. If he, he's African American. So if Jameis Winston turns out to be a terrific player on the field and now does a ton of charity work, then Jameis Winston may very well end up with TV commercials and a wonderful, fine career that also has, a settled sexual, he also has an alleged, rape situation or whatever.
He's got things pending. Something
in the closet.
Right. And Lauri, if I could use the play on words, there's nothing black and white. There's gray area, and when we understand that, we understand the human experience a little bit better, I think, because there is no black hat, white hat, or anything like that. Good guy, bad guy. It's a lot of gray area. And how about Bill Cosby, Lauri?
That one to me, I'll have to say, now you've reached my line, Ralph. Thanks for the call. Bill Cosby, at this point, I lose all nuance and shades of gray. That one I'm done. Honestly, if you know what, the stuff that he's out there being accused of, to me, just makes him on the in the category of I lose nuance, shades of gray, and anything. I just got a hard time with that guy. So he just seems like a disgusting, despicable human being. Honestly.